Hello everyone, it's me Sam Wong again. I'm gonna tell you some recap on the market and what's expected in the upcoming weeks. Before I go to do that, I want to share something with you, which is something I got from internet researching. This is kind of called story changes. All I meant is when you look at the picture, is that it's trying to indicate it to you that they're really forecasting of how it's going to look like in terms of the really the storage. So if you heard the news recently that they really have a difficulty and challenges of storing things. So that really the cases of you know people, like you have shortages, and people were trying to find things and they bought it and they have to put it somewhere. I really don't think the situation is as serious as what the market say. So, but definitely we are definitely facing inflation and there are challenges, of potential shopping with some items. So it's really important for you to kind of look what you need. I know China has chairman have encouraged and have a policy, well, not policy, but really kind of tell the people and advise market, the distribution, the supply chain, how to allocate and and get ready for goods for ordinary citizens. So I don't know what the intent is, but potential because of the COVID outbreak. That's one of the things I heard from the news. The other potential is like power. I don't think there will be power outages. If they are, they probably don't tell you anyway. But China is so big. Just bear in mind again, it's really bigger than U.S. and with them, with a 10 trillion population. So so even some places that have a blackout, you may not really know and aware of that. So then, that is also, getting ready for the cold weather where people have to prepare for food. So those are the two major things I can think of. Some people are predicting other things that may upcoming with the political instability, but I'm just not. I mean, that's something for you to know. We'll find out right in the futures when it happens. So before I go to that, I also want to point it out and show you some stuff that I've been talking about. I mean, I only do the weekly. I used to do it daily. Because people don't like to hear too much. So again, you can send me messages if you have questions. But this is just one of the things Boeing stock I've told about. And if you look last week, it had gone down to 200. The graph that I was showing up is $208. You probably get about 212, 13 if you will. It gone up to 225, and again my prediction of bowling is go back up to $250, and then you can see what 1 year high 278, and pre-pandemic again the stock was $400 ish. So I think this one, if you don't want to, you short term, you want to take gain, you're happy to. If not, it's good for holding, a couple years. And when we really everything back to normal, China will buy more bowlings, plane and flying as well. And they and then with the defense going on with the bill, that trillion bills and that go into effect as well when Biden gets approved and sign up. I mean, bowling will also be one of the beneficiaries because bowling have the technology and the various area that the U.S. government can be employed. The other one is pointed out to you as CCL, which is a cruise stock. I have told you guys to keep buying the cruise stock because pre-pandemic was like 40ish. Even 1 year high was 32. I bought it a year, kind of in a high point. I thought it would go up to the point like $40. I said. So, but then when you slip like 25, I bought more. When you slip to 22, I bought more. When you slip to 19, I mean the latest one was the lowest was in the last month and a half was like $19. So you want average out, I'm still in a profit right now. So sometimes strategically, you can't just expect that I buy once and then the stock go down. Oh no, I'm not buying more. This is a bad choice. Sometimes if you believe the stock and you know that you're looking for long run opportunities, and you obviously CCL not profit because of pandemic, right? And they actually have loss, but you stock is again market is forward looking. So then you once the economy is reopening, I mean this stock would definitely profit, especially around holiday season. So that is also I will cover on the later why this stock had gone up so much in last week, which you can see 5 days 11%. The other stock you also benefit from that is United Airline. So obviously you can see 14% up. So this stock at $45, around that range. We actually didn't go. It was between 45 to 47 ranges in last 2 weeks. I mean, you have some up and down intraday, but so if you would have bought it now, you're 52. Again, the stock I have to again remind you and caution. I tell you again, pre-pandemic the stock is $90. So while Bitcoin is going to go up, people can say it go to $140,000 when then no history is supporting and valuation supporting that. This does have a history tell you that it was $90 at one point, same as Boeing. So I'm trying to really giving you some this kind of stock that historically was strong. If you look forward looking, the business is not going away, but only going to come back and more profit. The other one is Disney. You can see, I don't know if it's gone up because of the overall market or really because of Marvel stock going to be, the movie going to be on the theater on November 5th and playing, which was yesterday. So stock apparently have gone up, in particularly on Friday. You can see in here is true. You keep going up. So I again look forward to stock to be $200 a share. So that's still a $25 run rate. It's pretty good. They're up 4%. But again, on Disney stock, for those who owned it in the past, you know that this stock has to have some patience. What I meant by that is the stock would be not moving at all until there was some good news and actually announced earnings that they are better than expected, or they will revise their outlook because of the pandemic situation where you get improves. So then, these type of news will really sparkle the stock higher. And the stock, of course, a few years ago, it was gone down to $40, which pretty bad at one point, but their leadership seems to be do a pretty good move regarding to investing, innovating on the future, movies, and some entertainment that driving the stock, to go back up. And sometimes they make money, a lot of sale off of the movies, but really the product associated with the movies that come after people buy in Disney store. Just bear that in mind. And then the next one is HYLN. This one again, the $52 slip all the way. The lowest I think is $7. I don't think I've seen $5 last year, but that when you slip as low as 7.30ish, something like that in the range. You gone back up pretty strong and 5% in 5 days. I'm still hoping they will announce earning on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully, they will have a loss. They were not going to make money, but they have a loss. The loss will incur less than expected, and they also will revise their outlook in the future. That sounds, that is actually what they're doing in Austin is actually better than planned. Then that will boost up the stock a little higher. So this stock again, strategically, at least for now, you can do a short-term trading. But in 2023 and beyond, as it go down to the path of 2025, more green energy perspective, and hopefully by then they will have more customers, so they will actually and have scalability again. All these EV stock need scalability will make the stock actually go up and make money. But this is one of the other one that I'm holding for definitely long term. The next one is I've introduced it in the week before in my video is Facebook. So they have changed the name. So even though symbol CFB, the name has already changed. So they may change it to a different symbol, I think, in December 1st, potentially. In 5 days, they've gone up 4.62% pretty well. You actually have gone down 315 again. Some analysts expected this stock to be targeted $400. You all really sometimes believe whether you believe the CEO or not. So it seems to me Mark Zuckerberg have a way, especially now he grew up, right? I mean, you think about the company have AU's history now, I think 8 or 10. So he was much younger. Now he's more mature, going for all these, leadership, training and with different peoples and innovations. So he actually become more mature leadership, then I think the stock will continue to be boosted and go better. Then the next stock is, and actually I regret I didn't buy it when the last quarter that was having a slip, and it was like $300. You want to make a pretty good profit on that. Then this one is really, really strong. I have bought it at one point. I don't know if people still holding the stock, but you will have profit anyway if you're about the time I told you to, which is BYDDF. This one, again, I haven't heard any news about Apple relationship with them. They're trying to buy the battery from them for the Apple car that they will develop in 2024. But if the announcement solidify and really come out, I think this stock will go up even higher. So this stock is profitable. One of the EV that like Tesla that's in profit. It's not tax credit. It's just because they have technology. And if you remember BYDDF, which actually pretty interesting too, is they have factories. So a couple of years ago during the pandemic, they actually producing masks. Today they're still selling masks. So of course, so they actually made a lot of money during pandemic because of the masks, and now they focus on battery and of course the car. So this stock again have a really high volatility on Chinese stock. So one thing I have to be cautious you. But if you believe in 2025, you believe this is one of the leader in the EV space, and they are selling battery even if they don't produce a car, they have partnership with that. And Warren Buffett also hold a lot of stock in this for 10 years ago. So this stock definitely will be one of them in your radar if you're interested in EV in the future. Then the next one I want to show it up, which is just skyrocketing since the announcement came out pricer. So unlike other stock, which are Moderna and biotech, they gone up a lot already, right? And Johnson as well. This stock actually had last quarter when they made an announcement, it would jack up to $52 and slide back to 42. Now the announcement come back with good news again. So you may potentially drive up to higher than 52 last time, but I don't know how much you want to buy and whether you're short-term or long-term investor. If you really want short-sighted, I mean, if you hit 52, I will let it go and take the profit. But if you believe, this will be like another, Moderna that this time really will pushing the market up, then this will be something some stock to be considered. Then I want to show you also, this is not so good news, but kind of Chinese stock continue to be underperformer with some, kind of news, not so good news in China. But, their stock was pulling back a little bit, 2.66%. Again, Hong Kong IPO at the time, which is probably 6 months ago, so it was at 250, and the stock have actual 1 year high was 353. So again, it's already less than 50%, gives you 60% valuation discount. So will you be interested to buy that? I have a lot of in particular of this Baidu because it's just like a Google. So China Google, if you will. So I have a faith on this company that they will do well. If you look at the performance, during pandemic, there were a year in 2019 they were not doing that well. The stock slipped. This share about $158 really back to 2019 performance level of the stock trading level. In the previous year, 2018, they were actually trading at $170. But if you look at the 2017 to 2021, let's say pandemic, they're not doing so well, excluding that, normalizing it. I mean, the stock from the trend perspective is definitely should be higher than 158 where the level is. The next one, this one, however, is actually pushing a bit up last couple of years during pandemic. They actually doubled the stock to $200, and now they have very discount 83, recently $75, the lowest point. I still think if this stock can slip to 75, buy more, and I'm still looking at November 11, which is very close to where we are today, 1 week away, and December 12 as well. So I have a lot of holding on these two Chinese stocks in particular. So I'm really thinking in the future, for long-term perspective, these two will be the good one. And I have Tencent as well, and little Bilibili, and Bilibili, and then this one is Bilibili showing you that they actually trending up. If you look at it from a month perspective, because in 5 days they're actually trending down, they pull back a little bit. Then there's one that I will mention about it in my recap at the very end. What stock to buy and consider. Defense industry again, I think it will be hot hit, not necessarily in China, but also in U.S. Potential with the with what's going on with the news in Taiwan. So this stock actually at one point it was really hot and up to $45, and since then it was slipping way back down after the IPO. And it is around IPO's price, a little bit higher than IPO price because I think $20 less 22 at IPO. So I think this stock is good to consider if you believe. I mean, this stock, however, is still not making money, FYI, but it has the potential. And your Biden decide to put more money in the military, and this stock will be benefit. They have actual potential doing high tech. They're helping called intelligence, if you will, right, to help collect the informations and things, like an agency to help on the national defense. So I want to look you and cherish, and I think everybody's very happy. You should be making money if you buy the index up, not the flip side. You'll be a loser if you buy the flip side. And really, this is just a Nasdaq showing you that with the yield curve push back, rebound, pull back a little bit on Friday. The Nasdaq are pushing up and intraday is actually record high again. So you can see, from this point, which is I'm doing 1 year, and you just drawing the line, you just keep going up. So the market and overall is still, very solid and strong, and we're waiting for if the Sandler effect, like I said in the last video, if that's going to be materialized, which probably will be later on November and early December. And then just to give you an update, so the Squid Game token skyrocketed in price from about 1 cent in last Tuesday to trading around $38 on Sunday. And then you even hitting $90 on the early Monday, last week, early Monday. So about a week, it really go up a lot, despite to $2,000 too, but before falling to 3 cents again. So it's turned out that this Squid token sounds like it's a scam, so people who bought it wouldn't be able to even log into the account again and trying to trade and sell. So sometimes just to be careful with the cryptocurrency. I know there's a long list out there, so if you hear the market, you always hear people talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. Those three are probably you hear the most in the market. UK Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index PMI came in 57.8, which was better than forecast and similar to previous reporting. New data on which is previous Friday confirmed inflation remains stubbornly high. China's economy sent a mixed message, but real estate crisis a bad screening on. There's another company that real estate company that having problem paying interest and have to defer it. The COP26 climate conference seems set to be an anticlimax after G20 leaders failed to agree on how to accelerate the phase out of coal. The coal does do pollution, so they want to do it, but unfortunately, if you heard the news recently about the power surge and potential outage, that's have to wait to make sure people can still remains warm during this cold weather. So coal would be one of the alternative. Another top 20 developer by size, Yahoo Group said on Monday it was looking to extend payment on 3 of its dollar bonds, sending its share down 9% sometime. Elsewhere in Asia, the Nikkei rose over 2% responding to a apathetic election win for Japan new Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, who promptly promised a large-scale stimulus program. Something similar to share. Microsoft overtook Apple as the world's most valuable company. Microsoft market cap rose to $2.46 trillion as Apple slipped to $2.43 trillion the previous Friday. Apple is still on track to reach a $3 trillion valuation. Leasing Group jumped as much as 9% on Monday, extending its long gain to nearly 60%. EV company began to deliver Air, sedan, and we see positive review. I mean, the car look pretty cool, but they are rather very expensive too. So it's not for regular people like you or me, probably. Burger King is partnering with Robinhood to give away 2.6 million of Krypton to be the fast food chain's Royalty Club members. Okay, I don't know how true this is and how am I gonna get the free Krypton currency. Merck stock is up over 7.5%. in Monday. So far this year in November, the stock hit a multi-year high of 88.46 on October 29. October brought an exciting positive for Merck shareholder as the company believes an EUA by the FDA could also mean sales up to $7 billion by end of next year. So this you'll hear me about this one at the end of the briefing as well. That I think something to besides prices. This one is part of consideration to buy if you believe in a drug and pharmaceutical company. The yield on the 3-year U.S. Treasury note was 2.2 basis point higher on 0.778% on Monday, up from 1.32% just a month. 10-year Treasury yield was up 2.1 basis point to 1.577%. The index is now reporting third highest year-over-year growth in earnings since second quarter 2010, provided by FactSet. ExxonMobil, which is symbol XOM, Chevron, symbol CVS, as well as European giant Royal Dutch Shell, symbol RDSA. Capital expenditure will rise next year, the energy supermajor indicator, but the increase come off 2021 exceptionally low base. The Vanguard Energy Index Fund ETF, VDE, whose top 10 holding, including Exxon and Chevron, up more than 55% for the year. Chevron third quarter 2020 earnings release showed that it generated the largest free cash flow in its 142-year history during the third quarter. The company's latest earnings showed that investors in these stocks will be rewarded generously through dividend hikes and share buyback. So some of the energy stock, because of the energy spike, so now a lot of attention again talking about good about them, but you got to be very careful about that. Shell have hit $50, slightly over than they came off of the news, not so good about buyback whatsoever. You pull way back to $45. P66 was same thing, that they were announcing buying out the other part of the, I think another different subsidiary stock or whatever they have. So the stock will actually get pulled back by 10%. But then of course in a later week, because oil price is still going up again, so they kind of offset a few percentage of that. But overall, energy stock, yes. If we believe in the oil price should continue to push up $100 as is, yes, you may be able to consider buying them, but you do the same percentage that where you are at right now. 10% more on the oil price mean probably less than 10% of the stock going up. So just something to bear in mind, because it's not one-to-one relationship. On Tuesday, oil major BP posted huge year-on-year jump in profit on the back of high global energy stock, and it said would be buy back extra 1.25 billion of share. U.S. stock future hit on pause on Tuesday after equity rose to a record high. COVID-19 vaccine maker price again after it raised its full-year guidance. It says sales from the vaccine will reach $36 billion. The stock was gone up, and I showed you the chart before that. It was really, for the week, it was hugely benefit from that, and you rose 10% in 5 days. So. If you do day trade on these stuff, for the one I show you, except the Chinese stock, you should probably short it. You will actually make a pretty huge profit. Under Armour and price rose on Tuesday after posting solid results. However, Sierra faced write-down of over $60 million housing bought for flipping purpose, along with Activation Blizzard, which is trading 19-month low in P-market, reporting disappointing third quarter profit and delayed 2 key game launches. Bond market were pressed on Wednesday with the yield about slightly to 1.523%. Again, I said that it is good if the Treasury yield can maintain to lower than 1.5%. The American Petroleum Institute said crude inventory rose by 3.6 million barrels last week against expectation for much smaller rates. Sierra stock really back with a 39% slump in 3 days drop. Sierra said it plans to lay off 25% of its workforce. It also offload thousands of homes in institutional buyers while taking write-down worth $100 million like in Houston, Dallas area. So maybe you can shop. For those who are in Houston, maybe an opportunity to see if these stock houses were available that will have a markdown and discount. The tapering schedule signaled new priority of central bank after focus solely on reviving the economy shift toward policy normalization suggests that Fed will soon look to pull inflation at a healthier level. Prices rising at a faster pace in more than a decade as we open led to nationwide spending spree. Well, I don't know if it's because of more people spending money, but because of the basically tapering and all this stuff creating the inflation. So it sounds like people, shopping more, right? But same dollar amount, basically purchase power diminish. So it's kind of very tight, and also the supply tight of supply. It's also why you explain why people go out buy more stuff possibly. The MSCI All World Index was a record high on Thursday, rising 0.16% to 754.08 in Asia overnight. China CSI Index gained 0.99%, while Tokyo Nikkei 225 climbed 0.93%. Despite that, Chinese stocks such as Pinduoduo and Baidu, which is something I showed you earlier on the graph, pulled back with 5%, 3% after the previous weeks. The world signal move from Powell caution tone on rate hike spurred U.S. stock to fresh record. He said, "We don't think it's a good time to raise interest rate because we want to see the labor market heal further." So Qualcomm, Tokyo, Toyota, and Booking are all looking strong after the impressive result. Bond yields stay around slightly to 1.57. The dollar hit the highest level of the week. Global share softened slightly after the record-breaking run of the week. However, all three major U.S. hit record high again on Friday, which you can see on the graph that's showing you that basically this is Nasdaq and it's showing higher. The market felt strong after price announced positive result of the PIOs. Price was up 10% in the day, leading other cruise and air travel stock went up about 7%. Hotel and casino stock were also up 3 to 5%. Bowling, symbol BA, also went up 5% end of the day. Facebook has gone above 7.5% since announcing the name change because it was flipping down. That's why the week show only 4.8% up. If you look at the Facebook graph that I show. So because again, bear in mind the intraday, it depends on when you're buying it, because during the day it was up and down as well. So you could buy a high point of the day, then you don't necessarily get that percentage of return, or you buy a low intraday of the day, which is actually the week lowest, then you actually will have a higher return than this showing from the point of beginning the market's open and day 1 to the day 5. Just bear in mind, because I've heard some people telling me that even though I'm showing impressive results on these stocks, they're still losing money. Why? Because they are not buying at the right point. And I actually encourage people that if you believe the stock that run through with the price and you know what the price you want to buy, you need to go limit buy, so lock into the position. When the market hit the price, they will give it to you. Then if you want to sell, you lock down the profit that you think the percentage, which you might golden rule 20% for short term, you put in limit sell. If you hit that price, will sell for you, and then you don't have to look at the market. Of course, you have to pay attention overall on the market. Otherwise, you sold, but the stock kept going up, and you thought it's still worth it, then you will cry, but vice versa. But just some tips that I want to share with you for those who don't know that you can actually put the price in the market and buy it, and then when you hit it, that rather than the spot price. So then you don't have to look at the market minute to minute. Kaiser Group Hong Kong 19 symbol 1638 open a new front in the battle to keep China financial system steady. So this will, as they missed payment a handful of wealth management products. China's stock again still underperforming given continued spread of COVID and the concern of the power outages or other issues, slower growth, but hopefully they will still hit the mark by end of year 8% target for the year. Peloton dropped 35% after reported wider and expanded losses. Loss of $25 and revenue of $805 million. And I haven't talked about this stock Peloton for a long time. It was one time very, very strong and solid, but once it starts slipping, I didn't really recommend to buy this one anymore. Especially gym reopen and people go to gym now. SelectQuote SLQT, which I actually mentioned that before, an insurance selling company, also dropped 18% after reporting Q1 losses but top revenue estimate. So this one is not a very big company. You can look into it. It was actually dropping as low as 35% at one point in one day. And I bought and profit a little bit. You're driving back as high as $14. The stock actually have a really, really high at $30 at one point. So you can check it out definitely. JP Morgan, we knew its prediction that Bitcoin will hit 146,000, just like I told you earlier, but that's coming from JP Morgan, not me. The bank which first made the forecast in January said crypto on multi-year structural upstream. The U.S. market continues to be strong, and it may go higher due to the center effect I mentioned in previous last week video. With the introduction now of the booster shot, which is not new, right? We all know that exists. Epidemic pills, which is something sounds interesting to me, along with strong unemployment data, which we see more job. Like I said, the pay is still not as good as they say, as good as they sound, especially for the office people, because a lot of these jobs that the government, what you hear, is really low pay job, like go to Burger King, McDonald's, Starbucks, right? Starbucks say they want to raise $17 an hour. Now, are they talking about New York, Houston, or Bottlesville, right? So that's another thing you got to be understanding and be careful about that, right? It's clear that the economy is going through reporting, but regardless, right, it's going to gearing through reopening along with ongoing concern of chip shortages that we still have and inflation. We all know inflation really real now in America. And actually probably the world, not just America. It's very likely that Fed's next focus is to control inflation, which is what the asset tapering, which is what we kind of expected. And interest rate don't think we're going up yet at this point, and hopefully Treasury yield will maintain to be stable and US dollar will also stable. Furthermore, Biden Trillion Reconciliation Act is still pending. It's most likely passed. The way I read the news, it looks like it will pass, and will create more cash on the side that benefit a number of industries and these companies. Some of them I mentioned earlier. So, period stated, I still look good and I'm confident about CCL, NCL, UAL, AAL, TRIB, P, and BA. They went up solidly last week due to the good news of the Python news that back to the market. I'm expecting the Marvel will increase revenue for Disney, simple DIS, and reopening as well, which then the theme park will also increase revenue. So that's just a matter of time when they actually will have a really good news out there that they will revise their forecast to be stronger. Microsoft may also be a good buy if it slips back a bit. Right now it's pretty expensive in my opinion, given the large cloud demand and also the window update. I mean, if you work for a company, in the office, you know that the company now, your company mostly using cloud and everything centralized and with a central control. And also, there's some company doing Windows 11 upgrade now, for the on their machine. So this is definitely bringing a lot of revenue to Microsoft. Some analysts expected that the stock target is $400 again for Facebook. So that's another one I bring it up too. And if you're an EV stock other than Tesla, which is in spotlight and have gone up to over $1,200 now, and who knows if it will go to really $3,000 like they expected, which is BYDDF, and I do show you the BYDDF earlier. Again, this one I haven't heard back about. The partnership with Apple, whether it's going to be sustained, really sign the agreement or not. But if it is, I think this stock will even go better. And the HYLN, which is another favor I have, I'm waiting for the announcement and see if things go better for them. I hope the stock will go up about $10. The stock had a record high again 2 weeks ago, but still over $300 in Hong Kong dollars for this BYDDF. On drug and pharmaceutical stock, Merck and Pfizer may be in considerations because I wouldn't touch, the other one that have already gone up 10 times, Given the current circumstance, stock in defense industry also can be thinking about it, which is Boeing, BA, Honeywell, HOM, and that one that I talked about, which is at $26 right now when the market closed Friday, symbol PLTR. And on retail grocery stock, can be a big winner for the fourth quarter, which is Costco, COST, Kroger, KR, Gap, GPS, or Tapestry, TPR symbol. But Kroger and Costco already gone up a lot since pandemic, so you got to be a little bit more cautious about that one. Gap was beat up from last quarter earning, but holiday seasons again around the corner, so normally you can see the seasonal effect of a lot of retail stock. I'm still in favor of Chinese stock, Pinduoduo, Baidu, Bilibili, Tencent, BYDDF, but those probably, have to hold on. If you want to hold on, then those will be the list I gave you. As well, as long as the Treasury yield remain 1.5% below, along with upcoming strong growth stock earning, Nasdaq will continue to stay up and solid overall market. On the flip side, COVID spread in Europe, China increase of corporate tax, risk of early rise of interest rate may drive profit takings, right? Once that profit takings, the market will slip. As long as nobody pressure and all happening at the same time because everybody just want to buy and sell, then market may be going down a little bit and you won't hit correction, right, which is bigger than 5% to 10% in the index perspective reflection. All three major index future now right now pretty positive with pretty solid gain again, but that future is not a true indication how the market will perform Monday, so we have to see. So folks, enjoy the ride and I hope you have a nice, wonderful weekend.